Okay, good morning, all of you. So, till now we have discussed about the differential amplifier basics and the differential amplifier configurations, that is balanced and unbalanced output differential amplifiers, current mirror circuit, level translator circuit, and the block diagram of op amp, ideal op amp, and the equivalent circuit of op amp, voltage transfer curve. So ideal voltage transfer curve and practical voltage transfer curve. Till now we have discussed all these topics. Okay. Today we will see the open loop op amp configurations. The open loop op amp configurations and the op amp TL082. So that is the general purpose JFET op amp and the characteristics of op amp. So we will see about the characteristics of op amp. See here. So it is the operational amplifier. So op amp symbol IC741 op amp symbol. So it has two inputs, inverting input and non-inverting input, and one output, that is V0, and it has two power supplies, plus VCC and minus VE, right? So it is the pin diagram of op amp. So here the second pin is inverting input, and the third pin is non-inverting input, sixth pin is output, seventh pin is plus VCC, and fourth pin is minus VE. So we are using only 5 pins. Okay, so it is a 8 pin IC. So 741 is a 8 pin IC. So if you see the block diagram of op amp, the first stage is the input stage and the second stage is the intermediate stage. It is a cascaded differential amplifier stage. The first stage is a differential amplifier, right? So here we are using a dual input balanced output differential amplifier as in the first stage. So in this next stage, so we are using the cascaded differential amplifier stage, and the third one is the level shifting stage, and the fourth last one is the output stage. Okay, so in the level shifting stage, so we are using the emitter follower with voltage divider circuit. So to bring the DC level to 0 level, we are using level shifting circuit. So if you combine more than 2 stages, then the DC level of the first stage should be minimized. So in those cases we are using the level shifting stage. In the output stage, the output impedance of output stage must match with the load impedance. So then only the maximum power will transfer to the load. Sunita, kept in mute.
ఇప్పుడు ఫోన్ కాలేజ్ మీటింగ్ వచ్చినోడికి
Okay. So in the output stage, we are using the class B push pull amplifier stage. Class B push pull amplifier circuits. Okay. So it is the block diagram of op amp. So it is the equivalent circuit of op amp, and this one is voltage transfer curve. This is the ideal voltage transfer curve. So here for 0 input, the output of op amp is always at saturation levels. So that is at plus Vsat or minus Vsat. So the output changes between 2 levels, plus Vsat or minus Vsat, or plus VCC or minus VCC, right? So due to infinite gain, so the output changes between these two levels. So that's why for zero input the voltage transfer curve for ideal op amp is a vertical line, right? So you can see here, so it is plus Vsat and it is minus Vsat. So at zero input, if Vd equal to 0, so this transfer curve it is looks like a vertical line, right? Next, if you see the practical voltage transfer curve, if Vd is greater than the corresponding value, that is B, if Vd is greater than B, then the output will be plus Vsat. So from this point the output is constant, that is plus Vsat. So in the second case, if Vd is less than A, if Vd is less than this point, the output is constant, that is minus Vsat. Okay. So here AB is the input range for linear operation. So this range is small. So here AB is the input range. So it is the practical voltage transfer curve. Now we will see the open loop op amp configurations. So there are three open loop op amp configurations. So it is inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier and differential amplifier. There are three open loop op amp configurations. So these are inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier and differential amplifier. See here, in the inverting amplifier, the input voltage is applied to the inverting terminal. So it is here Vin is applied to inverting terminal. Here it is minus sign indicates it is a inverting terminal. This plus sign indicates the non-inverting terminal, right? So op amp has two inputs. One is inverting and second one is non-inverting inputs. So here in the inverting amplifier, as the name implies, in the inverting amplifier, the input signal is applied to inverting terminal. Right? So it is the input resistance. In the inverting amplifier, here the other input will be 0. Okay, the other input will be 0. So here V1 equal to 0, it is V1, it is V2. V1 equal to 0 and V2 equal to Vin. V1 equal to 0 and V2 equal to Vin. So we know that V0 equal to AD into VD, right? So V0 equal to AD into VD. So where VD equal to V1 minus V2. So here V1 equal to 0 and V2 equal to Vin. So we will get V0 equal to minus AD into Vin, right? So V0 equal to minus AD into Vin. So because V0 equal to AD into VD, so VD equal to V1 minus V2, V1 equal to 0 and V2 equal to Vin. So we will get minus Vin, then the output becomes V0 equal to minus AD into V1. That is the inverting amplifier. Okay. So open loop means, see here why it is called open loop. Here we don't have any feedback section. From output to input side, right? See here, we don't have any feedback connection from output to input side. So that is open loop configuration. That is open loop op amp configurations, right? If you have any feedback from output to input side, so that becomes a closed loop configuration. Okay. In the open loop configuration, we don't have any feedback from output section to input section. So in the inverting amplifier, the output is minus AD into Vn. Here this minus sign indicates, so that is inverting, right? Second one is non-inverting amplifier. So in the non-inverting amplifier, the input voltage, in the non-inverting amplifier, the input voltage is applied to non-inverting terminal, that is, it is applied to plus, and the inverting terminal will be, so here this input will be 0. So V1 equal to plus Vin, here V1 equal to plus Vin, and V0 equal to, so AD into VD, this we can write AD into Vin, because V2 equal to 0, right? V2 equal to 0. So in the non-inverting amplifier, the output voltage is AD into Vin. The output voltage is AD into Vin. So that is the non-inverting amplifier. In the non-inverting amplifier, the input voltage is applied to the non-inverting terminal, and the other input will be 0, right? So that is V0 equal to AD into Vin. Whereas in the inverting amplifier, V0 equal to minus AD into Vin. So minus sign comes in the inverting amplifier section, right? The third one is differential amplifier. The third one is differential amplifier. See here, in the differential amplifier we are having two inputs. So V in 1 and V in 2. Okay. So V in 1, this input is applied to the non-inverting terminal, and V in 2, this input is applied to the inverting terminal. Right. So from this, the output will be V0 equal to, so AD into V in 1 minus V in 2. V0 equal to AD into V in 1 minus V in 2. So these are the open loop op-amp configurations. So inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier, and differential amplifier. Okay. So and differential amplifier. So it is a TL081 JFET input operational amplifier. Just I see the features of this JFET op-amp. The features of JFET op-amp: it is a low power consumption. It is 1.4. So the typical value. The low power consumption is low. So input bias current is low. So input offset current is also low. So harmonic distortion is low, and it has high input impedance. The main advantage of this FET op-amp is it provides high input impedance. Okay, and the slew rate is also high. So these are some features of TL081 JFET op-amp. Okay, so it has high slew rate, high input impedance, so low total harmonic distortion, low input offset current, low input bias current. We will see what is bias current and what is offset current. And the power consumption is also low. Okay, so it provides the output, so output short circuit protection. So this device features high slew rates, low input bias and offset currents, and low offset voltage, right? So these are some features of TL081 input, so JFET op-amp. These are some pin diagrams. So TL082, so it is a 20 pin IC, it is a 8 pin IC. So these are some pin diagrams of this TL08 series. A symbol and applications. So in the applications, this IC can be used in computers and in electronics applications. Okay, so we will see the characteristics of op-amp. Characteristics of op-amp. We are having different types of characteristics. So input offset current, input bias current, so input resistance, input capacitance, output resistance, slew rate, CMRR. Okay. So we will see what is the input offset current. So these are the characteristics of op-amp. So we will see what is input offset current. So the input offset current IIO, it is denoted as IO, input offset. O refers offset, input offset current. It is the difference between the currents in the inverting and the non-inverting terminals of a balanced amplifier, right? See here, this we can write IO equal to, it is the difference between the two input currents. So IB1 minus IB2. The input offset current is the difference between two input currents. So IB1 and IB2 are the two input currents. So we can write IO is IB1 minus IB2. Okay. So that is the input offset current. Input offset current. Next one is input bias current. Input bias current. So the input bias current is the average of the currents entering to the input terminals of a balanced amplifier. So it is the average of the two input currents. So input bias current is the average of the two bias currents, right? So here IB1 plus IB2 by 2. So input offset current is the difference of two input currents. Input offset current is the difference of two input currents flowing into the flowing into the op amp. Then we can write IOS equal to IB1 minus IB2. So next one is input bias current. So it is the average of the two input currents. It is the average of the two input currents flowing into the op amp. So that is IB, input bias current. So IB means bias current. So this we can write IB1 plus IB2 by 2, right? So for 741, so it is maximum input bias current is 700 nanoamperes. It is for 741 C. So maximum bias current is 700 nanoamperes. That is the input bias current, right? So next, input resistance. Input resistance. So it is the equivalent resistance measured at either inverting or non-inverting terminal with other terminal is grounded. With other terminal is grounded. So the input resistance is measured at either inverting terminal or non-inverting terminal with the other terminal is grounded. Okay. So that is the input resistance. See here, Ri is the equivalent resistance that can be measured at either the inverting or non-inverting input terminals with the other terminal is grounded. So the typical value of this input resistance is 2 mega ohms. The typical value of this input resistance is 2 mega ohms. Next one is input capacitance. Input capacitance. So it is the equivalent capacitance. So that can be measured at either the inverting or non-inverting terminal with the other terminal connected to ground, right? So that is the input capacitance. So the input capacitance is measured at either inverting or non-inverting terminal with the other input terminal is when the other input terminal is grounded. So the typical value of input capacitance is 1.4 picofarads. The typical value of input capacitance is 1.4 picofarads. Here the typical value of input resistance is 2 mega ohms. The input bias current is 700 nanoamperes and the input offset current is 6 nanoamperes. Okay, these are the typical values. So for input offset current, input bias current, so input resistance and input capacitance. Next one is common mode rejection ratio. Common mode rejection ratio. So we know that CMRR is defined as the ratio of the differential voltage gain to the common mode gain. So CMRR is AD by AC. Okay. So it is the ratio of differential gain to common mode gain. So here CMRR is 90 decibels. The typical value of CMRR is 90 decibels. the ideal value of CMRR is infinity. The higher the value of CMRR, so the better is the matching between two input terminals, and the smaller is the output common mode voltage. So if CMRR is high, the noise will be low, right? So it is the ratio of differential gain to common mode gain, that is CMRR. So next, open loop voltage gain. So AOL, open loop voltage gain, AOL. It is the ratio of output voltage to differential voltage, right? So it is AOL equal to V0 by VD. That is the open loop voltage gain. Next one is supply voltage rejection ratio. Supply voltage rejection ratio, SVRR or PSRR, power supply rejection ratio. So next characteristic is supply voltage rejection ratio or PSRR, power supply rejection ratio. So it is PSRR is the ratio of change in input offset voltage with respect to power supply VCC or VEE when the other power supply is constant. Okay. See here, it is the ratio of change in input offset voltage to the corresponding change in power supply voltage. See here, it is the change in input offset voltage to the corresponding change in power supply voltage, right? So the PSRR or SVRR, it is delta VIOS by delta VCC when other power supply is constant, VEE is constant, or we can write delta VIOS by delta VEE when VCC is constant. Okay, so that is PSRR or SVRR, power supply rejection ratio. So it is nearly 150 microvolts per volts. So the typical value of SVRR is 150 microvolts per volt. Okay. So here, what is input offset voltage, right? Input offset voltage. One more characteristic, input offset voltage. So whenever the both input terminals of op amp are grounded, ideally output voltage should be 0. If the two inputs of op amp, if the two inputs of op amp are grounded, then the output voltage should be 0, right? If the two inputs are grounded, then the output voltage should be 0. But in practice, op amp shows a small non-zero output voltage. But in practice, an op amp shows a small non-zero output voltage. This voltage is called as input of. Okay, one second. Okay, this is due to the mismatching of the internal circuit. So to make such a voltage 0, apply a small DC voltage between two input terminals. This DC voltage is called as input offset voltage. So we will see what is the input offset voltage. If the two inputs are grounded, then the output must be 0. But due to mismatching of the internal circuit, due to mismatching of the internal circuit, the output shows some value. Okay, the output shows some voltage. So to make such a voltage to 0, apply a small voltage between the two input terminals. So that DC voltage is called as input offset voltage. That input DC voltage is called input offset voltage. Okay. So it is a large signal voltage gain. So open loop voltage gain, it is the ratio of output voltage to differential input voltage. So that is A equal to V naught by Vd. See, what is output resistance? Next one is output resistance. So the output resistance, it is the equivalent resistance that can be measured between the output terminals of the op amp and the ground. So R0 is measured between the output terminal and ground. Okay. So the typical value of output resistance is 75 ohms. 75 ohms. Next, output voltage swing. Output voltage swing. See here, the AC output compliance PP is the maximum unclipped peak to peak output voltage that an op amp can produce. Since the quiescent output is ideally 0, the AC output voltage can swing positive or negative. So the output changes between plus VCC minus VEE. Next, supply current. So here IS is a current drawn by the op amp from the supply. So that is 2.8 milliamperes. Practical value is 2.8 milliamperes. So supply current IS, it is the current drawn by the op amp from the supply. It is the current drawn by the op amp from the supply. So the typical value is 2.8 milliamperes. Next one is power consumption. Power consumption. So it is the amount of quiescent power that must be consumed by the op amp, so in order to operate properly. So how much power is consumed, right? So the amount of power consumed by the 741 op amp is 85 milliwatts. Power consumption is low.
Sir, slide change, sir.
Okay, which slide? Hello?
44th slide, sir.
44th. Okay, wait. Now? Hello?
Sir,
Can you able to see the slide?
44th slide కనిపిస్తుంది సార్.
44th slide. Okay, one second. Now check it. Only 44th slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just I am getting a disturbance, so we will continue.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so next characteristic is gain bandwidth product. So the gain bandwidth product is the bandwidth of the op amp when the open loop voltage gain is reduced to 1. So that is the gain bandwidth product. And circuit stability. See here, when the circuit is stable, so a circuit or a group of circuit connected together as a system is said to be stable if its output reaches a fixed value in a finite time. If its output reaches a fixed value in a finite time, then only we can say that the circuit in stable state. Okay, so a system is said to be unstable if its output increases with time instead of achieving a fixed value. A system is said to be unstable if its output increases with time instead of achieving a fixed value. So that system is called unstable system. Okay. So in the stable system, the output reaches a fixed value in a finite time, right? So that is the circuit stability. So if you see that these are some characteristics of operational amplifier. So input offset current, input bias current, input resistance, input capacitance, common mode rejection ratio, CMRR, power supply rejection ratio, PSRR or SVRR. So wait a minute. Okay, if you see the ideal and practical specifications of op-amp, ideal and practical specifications of op-amp. So the open loop voltage gain, the ideal open loop voltage gain is infinity. Practically, so it will be 2 into 10 power 5. So ideal and practical specifications of op-amp. Okay, see here, the open loop voltage gain is infinity. That is the ideal value. Say practical value is 2 into 10 power 5. The input impedance is infinity. The ideal value is infinity, and the practical value is 2 mega ohms. The practical value of the input impedance is 2 mega ohms. See here. Okay, so somebody is changing the slides. So next, output impedance. Output impedance, the ideal value is 0 and the practical value is 75 ohms. The input offset voltage, ideal value is 0 and the practical value is 1 millivolt. The CMRR, ideal value is infinity and the practical value is 90 decibels. And the practical value is 90 decibels. Okay, and the slew rate is, ideal value is infinity and the practical value is 0.5 volts per microseconds. So the input offset current is, ideal value is 0 and the practical value is 2 nanoamperes. The input bias current, the ideal value is 0 and the practical value is 80 nanoamperes. And the bandwidth, the ideal bandwidth is infinity and the practical value is 1 megahertz. Right? So these are the ideal and practical characteristics of the op-amp. So with this, I am going to stop the presentation. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me.